Hello, I'm Stephen Ho, trader and founder of TheStopHunter. Now, the stock market in South Africa has been on fire in 2021, one of its best years for a very long time. Now, if you want to know more about that, check out my other video that I did on the JSE Top 40 and how you can get involved in that. I'll put the link at the end of this video for you to follow if you want to find out there. But in this video, I'm going to look at my favourite 8 South African stocks to trade for 2022, and if this bullish momentum can continue, then these are certainly worth watching. I'm also going to show you how to access and trade and invest in these as well. So with that, let's get on with the analysis. So if you're from the US, you might struggle to access the South African stocks. Check with your broker, see whether you can. But if you do struggle, I've found you this ETF. Its ticker is EZA, and it's the iShares MSC South Africa Index Fund. And it gives you that portfolio access into those stocks more generically. And a quick look at the performance since really the initial downtrend there back in March of 2020 due to COVID. Then things really have gone on very nicely, at one point up 117%, and we can see that yellow line that I've drawn there seems to be the resistance point for the price around 43.44, and we can see more recently in the last the end of 21 and into 22, we can see an increase up in the price of the ETF. So that's something you can use either to track the index itself and those stocks, or like I say, trade and invest in yourself, especially if you're from the US. Let's dig into my top 8 for 2022, and I will take a look at those that nearly made it, and also I'll show you how you can actually trade these stocks and get involved. So first up, we have Investec, the specialist investment bank, asset manager, really from 2021, the beginning, after the plateau, after the COVID fallout, really has stormed on up through the year and looking the same into 22. Next up, we have Impala Platinum. Clues in the name, what they get up to. They're a producer and supplier of platinum group metals, but really since 2019 been very strong. Bit of a pullback at the start in through to sort of autumn of 21, but now starting to pick up again as maybe global demand picks up for those sort of metals. So with South Africa's sort of reliance on commodities as its major I suppose market that it sells and gets involved with, then no surprise that BHP Group is on the list. You can see from, again, similar story, down 2020 and then up, pushing on all the way through after that pandemic blip, and then on upwards as confidence grows back in the economy. So fourth, we have Sasol Limited, and they are an international integrated chemicals and energy company. Same sort of chart story, but very strong from June of 2020 all the way through until now, and looking strong in this year. Then another financial services company on the list, Nedbank. They are a provider of all sorts of financial services, from retail banking, insurance, asset management, wealth management. But again, as the South African economy strengthens, so has Nedbank, and pushing strong into 22. Sticking with financial services, we have Absa Group Limited, and they again multi financial services company across all sorts of offerings: personal business banking, credit cards, corporate investment banking, wealth and investment management, and insurance. And again, pretty strong start to 22. Now, Compagnie Financière Richemont were the biggest mover in 2021 in the SA40 index. They are luxury goods business, and obviously as the momentum increased in the South African market, then their stock price also was on the rise. Bit of a pause at the end of the year, and look out for them though, hopefully into this year. And finally, First Rand, again a financial services company offering banking, insurance and investment products to retail, commercial, corporate across South Africa. So that's the 8. So let's have a look quickly at those that nearly made it. And also, and I think it's very obvious, what sectors, industries the top 8 came from. Now, the South African Stock Exchange isn't a huge one for choice in amount of stocks you can trade, so there was a limited number I could pick from and analyse, but there was enough interest there to create a good short list. And really there's only 4 symbols that didn't make the list, and I'll look at them in a moment. But first of all, let's look at that right hand wheel there that gives us the industries that these stocks were involved with, and they are spread between regional banks, major banks, precious metals, other metals, minerals, pharmaceuticals, investment managers, steel, major diversified food and chemical speciality. And if we want to group those on that left wheel there, we've got 45% in finance, 27% non-energy minerals, 9% health technology, 9% consumer non-durables and 9% process industry. So I suppose really it's a combination of finance and commodities that make up most of the shortlist, which is really what the South African economy specialises in. And if we go to those symbols, my shortlist, the ones flagged red are the ones in our 8. The blue ones are the ones that nearly made it, and we have the first one, which was Aspen Pharmacare, and then we had Raynet Investments, then Kumba Iron Ore, and then Remgro. Now they came close to that top 8, so maybe you'd like to have a look at those as well. They're interesting stocks. Maybe add a bit more diversity into your trading if you want to get involved in the South African stock market. So if you want to trade these stocks, well, how exactly do you? Well, you've got quite a few choices, and I will take a look at those now. So if you're a South African local, I would check with your regional stockbroker, or if you want some leverage from your trades, then why not try CFDs, and I'm going to show you in a minute how to get involved in that area. Like I said earlier, if you're from the US and struggling to find these stocks, then look for an ETF like we saw earlier, EZA, but check with your local brokers to see whether they can access those markets. So if I was anywhere else in the world, I would use CFDs or spread betting to access these markets. Not everywhere offers the South African market, so it's quite hard to find a CFD broker that does, but I do trade these index stocks and also the South African index, and like I said earlier in the introduction, if you want to see more about the South African 40 JSE index, then check out my video link at the end of this one. But I'm going to quickly show you who I recommend and use. So I use and recommend someone called Trade Nation. They used to be called Core Spreads. They're fully FCA regulated, and full disclosure, I am an affiliate of these, but I'm only recommending them because I actually use them. I've used them for many years. It's the same with any of the brokers or resources that I recommend. I actually use them for real, and like I said, I've been using Trade Nation for many years now. Really enjoy their product. But let's have a look where we can find that South African Stock Exchange, where if you head to indices, go down to world, there you can see the South African 40 future there for you to trade, and those stocks that we talked about Well, again, scroll down, good selection of products to trade. There's South Africa. Click on South Africa and you can actually see there is far more than just my 8 that I selected. You pretty much got the South Africa 40 to trade from there. And like I said, it's spread betting CFDs, and if you want to learn more or open an account, then I'll put a link in the description below, or head to my website, go to the Forex or stocks page and you will find more information on them there. But that's one way. Another way for, I think, the rest of the world to get involved with, you know, the South African stocks using CFDs, spread betting. It gives you leverage. You know, there are increased risks there, but it does give you that exposure and easy access into that world. So there you go, a lot covered in that video. You've seen my 8 preferred stocks into 2022 for the South African stock market. We've looked at a few other options, and we've also looked at options around how you can access and trade these markets. Don't forget to check out the video on the South African Stock Exchange, the SA40. That's a really good day trading market. Plus, it has, you know, other strategies and ideas that you can pull from that. Let me know in those comments below if you think there's any stocks that I've missed out on from that 8. Let me know what you think of those 8. Do you think they will be good into 22? Let's get the discussion going and look forward to hearing from you. If you've liked today's video, please give us the thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and bell buttons, and all that's left for me to say is thanks for watching, good luck with the trading, and I'll see you in the next video.